I absolutely love the work of David Choe and how his attitude towards art is very open. I watched this video where he's talking about how art should be fueled by curiosity and not fear. I think that's something I'm currently dealing with, and I decided to load up Procreate. I got down a sketch where I had the intention of being guided by my curiosity. Once I was happy with that sketch, I began doing a study where I focus on the left side of the sketch, and I'm using acrylic gouache on paper to do this. If you have been following my work for some time, or if you're familiar with my YouTube videos, you'll know that I have definitely been struggling over the years to create work that I feel comfortable with, and I think this is what every artist goes through, but I have definitely been trying to understand that within myself, and I feel like I'm closer to understanding that by doing these sort of studies where I'm focusing on my curiosity and really nurturing that instead of focusing on what I should or what other people are thinking. We can all admit that we want people to see our work and like it. We want that. There's nothing wrong to admit something like that. But when you're creating stuff that is solely for what people think, I think there's something wrong, and you probably need to address that, and that's something that I'm definitely doing. I think this is a very healthy part in any artist's process, to understand that people are viewing your work. You can easily fall in line with creating work that has been successful in the past, where you just want to create that again because it works, but then that leads to a lack of creativity, and ultimately it leaves you very unfulfilled. So I'm definitely trying to battle that and understand that I should keep pushing no matter what. I should have that drive to create something new and improved every time I'm creating a piece of work. While watching David Choe's video on the curiosity, I was really thinking about how in 2017 I became a full-time freelance artist, and since then I haven't thought of how curiosity plays a massive role in an artist's life. And I think I have done this to a point naturally. I have definitely followed my curiosity. I think any artist has to do that to a point, but I think when you become aware of how important it is, you start to realize that it is so vital as an artist. I think it's rooted in how I have had a few successful projects where it has financially supported me, and I'm super grateful for that. But then when I come back to the drawing board, I have that painting or project in mind where I know that that works. That's a formula that I can use for the next painting. But that's very much not the reason why I started this whole thing, as I want to be ultimately fulfilled by creating my work. Trying to understand how I can create from a pure place where I'm creating work that I love, but then also being able to financially support myself with that creation. I think there's the push and pull of creating where I know I want to be fulfilled creatively, but then also being able to financially keep this boat aboard, as I do have responsibilities where I need to pay my rent, and I've got to do other things where I have to live. At the end of the day, I do need to do that, and I have to be aware to a point, but I also want to not be stifled by not being able to create the things that I want to see. And I think that's definitely something that is 100% valid, and something I'm constantly in to and fro, where I'm trying to get to that point where I have a good groove of understanding that I can achieve both of those things while being creatively fulfilled. Now, it's no wonder why you look at David Choe and you're seeing an artist who is not troubled by what he's creating. You see in the video he's constantly ripping his work and starting again and understanding that, oh, he could have done something a little bit different and it would have improved it so much, and he follows that in the video. And that's something that I need to recognize to flow through my creative process in a natural way with no restrictions, just allowing myself to create. And you know what? The most vital thing I've learnt from watching this video and really thinking about how my creative process is sometimes stifled by my fear of what it's going to be or what other people are going to think. Through that, I've learnt that play is so important, and play is often linked with curiosity, as you have to be very open in order to create the things you want to see. In his video, you're seeing him just playing, having fun. That's it. That is the number one thing I have to look out for, and I hope that you guys can see that is a vital thing in your process as well. We've got to maintain that play within our work. I remember visiting a Picasso exhibition in Barcelona a few years ago, and what was really interesting was you saw his progression from a very traditional artist into a very playful artist, and I think ultimately that is what was fulfilling him in his later life, where he created works that maybe doesn't make sense to you, but I'm sure it was just really fun for him to create, and maybe that's what David Choe was talking about. So there you have the final painting study complete, and I'm really happy with how it turned out. I knew from the start I wanted to have a blue background, but that red, the lower half of the painting, was something that I was really surprised with, and I definitely love how it makes the upper half of the painting pop a little more. Something very interesting, and also if I wasn't open to doing that, I would have never found that. And I think that I have proved to myself that curiosity is a vital part of the process, where it will surprise you in many ways. I can't wait to develop this further and continue with this mindset in the future. That is exactly what I'm trying to set out to do. So I hope you have enjoyed this video. Let me know if you have watched David Choe's video, and it will be interesting to see if you have faced the same problems within your work and have realized that it is highly important to maintain your curiosity. I do want to quickly talk about the frame that I used to place this study in. It's a acrylic and magnetic frame, and it works perfectly for any paper studies that you create. I absolutely love how they give the painting a nice official look, and that is definitely something that I've learnt over the years. Make sure to frame your work, and it creates another dimension of, it makes it look a bit nicer and more official. So definitely do that with your work. That is a quick tip from Nick. Anyway, guys, I hope you have enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one.